because I am doing a special review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, a season, what is it, season 6, episode 29, the one that's called Feeling Protected and Using Protection. I know I don't normally do Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I told y'all I watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I don't always have something to say about it. I know a couple of you have dropped down in my comments and said, why don't I review it? Because like I said, I don't always have something to say. Sometimes it's just foolishness. And to be honest with you, even though I may watch it, that don't mean I want to still talk about it. But let me tell you something. This week got me going, y'all. It got me going. How about you? There's so many things I want to talk about. I want to talk about at least 3 things for sure. First of all, did I hear Melody correctly when she said for 15 years when she was married to Martell Holt that she never had an orgasm? I'm going to have to talk about that. Second of all, I'm going to talk about Maurice. We thought the bad brother was Marsau. We thought Maurice was a little bit better. He's so selfish. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to also talk about how Tisha's scared straight scam she tried to run on Marsau with the pregnancy test, how that blew up in her face. It blew up in her face. That little scared straight thing that she tried to stage ended up blowing up in her face. And next thing you know, she's the one crying, going over, sleeping in the other bedroom. But first of all, I'm going to start talking about the order it was this thing what Melody revealed that one of her biggest regrets in her marriage to Martell was that she had 4 kids with a man who never made her have an orgasm. I can't believe it. I can believe it, but I can't believe it. And if you start to replay in your mind all those times when Martell was talking about, I'm going over here to coastlaw with a woman who can satisfy me. She satisfies me. You mean to tell me you ain't been satisfying Nell for 14 years? Now I actually understand a lot more that's going on with Melody. Because let me tell you something. When you're a man and in 14 years, you haven't been able to make your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever she is to you have an orgasm, you got to feel pretty low about yourself. Pretty low. And I can see now why Martell needs to then go out and sleep with another woman to stroke his ego. Because for 14 years, he can't even make his wife have a good time. And I'm going to say this to ladies, because you know what? This is maybe not an uncommon problem, because I think we encountered this in another reality TV show. It was someone else who had said the same thing. And I don't know why women are putting up with this in marriage. Women, you are not there as a doormat. This ain't the color purple. Your husband, your boyfriend ain't Mr. and you ain't Celie. There is no reason in 2023 why women shouldn't be getting the same amount of pleasure from sex as men. And if you're not, you need to have a conversation with that man, a serious one, and that man needs to start listening, because there ain't no way I would be with a man for 14 years and not have no orgasm. In fact, the ratio, we need to talk about the ratio. How many times, if you married or have a boyfriend that you've been around, will you allow yourself to have sex without an orgasm before you speak up? Do you always just let the man get pleasured, or do you speak up? You need to start speaking up. Because one of the things that has ruined intimacy and sex for women are all these shows on TV. These little porn, soft porn. Because men start to believe that what they see on TV, when they see all this, men actually start believing that when them women are groaning and moaning on TV, that that's for real. That it's not just acting. That most women do not have orgasm in that way. So then what happens is women start to believe it too. What do you mean? I don't love this position as much as he does. This is a position for him, but I really don't climax in that position. So now you're just doing it for him because then you what? You start faking it. You start groaning and moaning like you really like it, but you don't like it. What for? So he can feel good about himself. So he can be pumped up. But lo and behold, you're not getting any pleasure for it. Stop it. Stop it. And stop feeling bad and thinking, oh, is there something wrong with me? Because when I watch TV and I see this soft porn, this is the way the women like it. And they seem to always climax with, it's fake. It's fake. It's a TV show. It's a movie. It's an Instagram video. And they got real women believing, real women feeling bad about themselves because they're not getting as much pleasure out of that position or that act as much as the girl on TV is. And then men run around thinking they're really doing something, and the women sit there in shame thinking maybe it's me, maybe I'm the problem, and maybe I not to say nothing because maybe I just need to go along with it and lay down like Celie, okay, on The Color Purple that's coming out on Christmas Day, and I'm not getting no pleasure from this. How the heck could Melody let this go on for 15 years? And how the heck could Martell never want to do anything to please his wife? He's selfish. He's absolutely selfish. So then he runs off over here to these other women who probably ain't having one either. May not be having one either. And they just do a better job at acting and pretending. And probably after a while, Melody starts saying, I'm not acting no more. I'm not pretending no more that I'm enjoying this because I'm not. And that probably turned off Martell even more because now she was telling him the truth. This is horrendous. This is horrendous that something like this went on for 14 or 15 years. If there's any other woman like that in a marriage like this, in a relationship like this, you need to start speaking up. He can learn. He can learn. Don't pretend like he can't learn, and don't make it believe like you can't have pleasure from the same thing. Maybe that's why Melody didn't want to have sex with him too much, because she wasn't getting no pleasure from it. Let me tell you something. That's like showing up to a job and not even getting paid. Who the heck want to have a whole lot of intimacy and sexual encounters when the only one getting paid is you, Martell? So Melody was showing up for work and not getting no paycheck. Ugh. Horrendous. Horrendous. And now we got over here on the next couple, we got Maurice and Kimmy fighting over sex. You got Maurice on here doing this interview with Carlos Cream, talking about Kimmy ought to do her duty and lay down and roll over, and she ought to do her duty and suffer through it like I'm suffering through it with her. Cancer ain't suffering enough, Maurice. You got to suffer through caring for your wife for cancer. Is that how you describe things? Everything's all about Maurice. All about Maurice. Nothing's about Kimmy, her illness, none of it. And Kimmy takes up for Maurice too long. She makes too many excuses for Maurice. Let Maurice hang out here in these streets all by himself. Let him take the heat, Kimmy. Why are you always coming in here trying to save Maurice, cover up for Maurice? Because let me tell you something. You're not getting anything from covering up from him. Maurice is selfish. I'm going to say something else. And it's going to be a bold statement. I don't even think Maurice would have married Kimmy had he not been on this show. I'm going to say it out loud. I'm not saying that I don't think that Maurice loves Kimmy. I don't think he would have married her. Because remember when this series first started 6 years ago, he was dragging his feet into marrying Kimmy. Dragging his feet. I think the only reason he got married is because he was on this show, Love and Marriage. And he knew that was going to be a requirement of being on the show, being married. Another reason I think he married Kimmy is because he wanted Monster. He wanted Monster to come live with him. And he knew Kaiwa wasn't going to just send Monster because he's single and he's alone. And the truth of the matter is, I think he married Kimmy to help him take care of Monster, so she could be there to do all the cooking and the cleaning. Another Celie. So he used Kimmy because he knew that he couldn't raise Monster by himself. So he looked at Kimmy and said, oh, you've done a great job with Jalen, and I'm going to need some help with Monster. I'm going to need some help with the cooking and the cleaning and the washing of his clothes. So I might as well go ahead and marry you too. Why did he even break up with Kaiwa? Do we even know why Kaiwa and Maurice broke up? Was it because he cheated on Kaiwa? I know they tried to say that he was cheating on Kaiwa with Kimmy. I don't know. But was there another woman before Kaiwa that he cheated on Kaiwa with? Because what's the real story of why Maurice and Kaiwa got divorced? Have we ever gotten a straight story? I'm going to tell you this. I don't think he would have married Kimmy. It took him a whole year and a half to take Kimmy on a honeymoon. They got married and couldn't even go on a honeymoon. Now he's sitting over here, got a cancer survivor, a cancer victim, still cleaning up the house and cooking for him. All this love and Marriage Huntsville money you got, and you guys can't get no housekeeper. You still want Kimmy cleaning up a house and cleaning up after Monster. Maurice is a user. He is a user. He sat on there and made a fool out of Kimmy, and then came back and started talking about, well, I wish I wouldn't have said those things. I wish I could press a delete on all my comments. But it was Melody who said it right. The apology don't mean nothing if it's still in your heart. There you go, Melody. You said it correctly. Melody over here reading all these people. She over here reading them all because what she said is, y'all think your marriages are so much different than mine. They're really not. They're really not different. Just like Melody was over there having sex for 15 years with no orgasms, you got Kimmy over here performing and having sex with Maurice all these days per week. What did he say? He wanted every single day. You know she wasn't having no orgasm every single day. You know she wasn't. You know she was not having no orgasm every single day, which means how many days out of the week do you think she was doing it just for him? Once again, Sealy and the color purple. Maurice trying to equate sticking by Kimmy through her cancer, standing by her side, as he says, is equivalent to him trying to demand sex every single day from Kimmy while she on chemo, radiation, and surgery from cancer. I tell you, you know what? You say these vows for sickness and health, till death do us part, better or worse. But you never imagine that when you read and you said sickness and health, when you do get sick, that your husband's going to be up there and saying, well, I'm only going to take care of you if you continue having sex with me every single day while you're recovering from cancer. Go get a concubine, Maurice. There comes a time, ladies, where you might want to consider a concubine. Because if you having sex with someone for 15 years and you're not having an orgasm, and this is some kind of weird arrangement, you might as well get a concubine. Let somebody else do it because you ain't getting no pleasure from it. What? Just so he can't cheat? So you're going to be doing this, rolling over, having bad sex for 15 years just so he won't cheat? Guess what? He's cheating anyway. Martell was cheating anyway. Didn't even matter. You might as well have had a concubine doing your dirty work. So what? We hire maids. We hire cooks. We hire nannies. We hire a whole lot of people in our lives to take care of stuff we don't want to take care of. And let me tell you, if I was with a man that couldn't make me climax, I wouldn't be opposed to hiring a woman to do that dirty work for me. Hey, you do it. You do it, because I'm not doing it no more. I'm not coming to work every single day and not getting paid, because that's what it is. When you have sex with a man for 15 years and you don't have climax, that's like you coming to work every single day and not getting paid. Nope, get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not your slave. And then let me tell you about this thing that backfired with Leticia. You see, Leticia had this game plan. I know this wasn't how I was explaining the show, but I'm explaining to you how it really was. Leticia was trying to scare Marsau straight. What Leticia was trying to do is, now that Marsau has had this vasectomy, Leticia was saying, I don't want Marsau to think that he could just keep cheating out here and a girl don't come up pregnant like Martell did. That's what she's afraid of. She says, you know what? I've heard all these rumors. You know, I've been putting them to the side because I don't want to deal with it because I'm not going to leave my husband anyway. So what's the point in acknowledging? I understand, Leticia. Why acknowledge it if you're not going to leave anyway? So she said, I'm not going to acknowledge none of it because I'm not going to leave anyway. So I'm just going to pretend like I don't know and I'm going to play dumb. But what I am afraid of with my husband, Marsau, because I know he has been doing some dirt out here in these streets, is that he's going to do what Martell did, and that is keep on cheating. So what Lakeisha decides to do is I'm going to teach him a lesson because right now he thinks he's smarter than Martell because what he did was he went out and got a vasectomy. So he thinks he's smarter than Martell. That's what Martell should have done. So now Marsau, who thinks he's smarter than everyone, says, I'm going to get a vasectomy. So that way there are no slip-ups. I'm not going to make the same mistakes that Martell did. And Lakeisha doesn't like that. Lakeisha said, well, wait a minute. I'm going to need to scare Marsau straight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend like I had to take a pregnancy test. Well, she actually did it. Because now what she's going to do is she wants Marsau to think, dang, I guess there is a chance that I could get a woman pregnant even though I have a vasectomy. And then what Leticia wants him to do is to stop cheating. You see, that's what Leticia was trying to do. I want to scare him straight. I want him to think. I want him to think about the possibility, that 0.01, 0.02, whatever it is, possibility that a woman could get pregnant even though you have a vasectomy. And guess what happened? It backfired. It backfired because she forgot who she was dealing with. So instead of Marsau getting scared straight, what Marsau did was he flipped it on her. He flipped it on her and then said, nah, maybe you're the one that's cheating. And it took Leticia by surprise. She says, no, the purpose of me doing this, to bringing up the idea that I might be pregnant even though you have a vasectomy, was to scare you straight. Now you mean to tell me that Marsau has turned this around and said that I'm the cheater? I'm the one that might be cheating? She was fit to be tied. She didn't know what to do. She says, I've been sticking by your side, Marsau, all these years, from the 20 girls to the, like Melody said, she stuck by your side with the picture that was fuzzy. Melody was running down all the incidences, and Melody said correctly, you mean to tell me that Leticia has stuck by your side through all these scandals, through all this public embarrassment, and when this moment comes up, the first thing you think about her is that she's a cheater. Holy ho, ho, ho. So now you got Marsau not trusting Leticia. Leticia's like, how the heck did this happen? How did my game plan for scaring him straight, for making him think a little bit more that something bad could happen if he continues to philander out here in these streets, how the heck did this turn around and all of a sudden be about me and me possibly being a cheater? She put her own self in a trick bag. This is what happens to you, Leticia, when you're dealing with a professional. This is what happens when you're dealing with a professional. And then he went a step farther and said, no, Leticia's the gaslighter. He's saying his thinking is correct. He's saying they're trying to break this down between a probability and possibility. And Maurice is sitting up here saying, nah, Leticia, your game plan backfired. In fact, now I'm looking at you sideways because I'm trying to figure out, are you the one that's cheating? Do you really love me? As he said, do you really love me, Leticia, or is all this just a game? Now Leticia's even more scared because now what Leticia's scared about is, wow, if Marsau thinks I'm a cheater, he might really go out and cheat even more because he thinks I'm a cheater. Woo, I know Leticia's knotted up. I know she's knotted up because this game plan backfired so much on her. Marsau said it right. He said, I'm not that emotionally intelligent guy. He says, when you come to me and tell me you take a pregnancy test, I'm not going straight to maybe my vasectomy didn't work. I'm going straight to how the hell could you be pregnant? You must have been cheating on me and I want a DNA test. At least he admitted he ain't emotionally intelligent. At least he admitted it. He said ignorance is bliss. He wished Leticia would have never told him. I know Leticia is wishing she had never tried to play this little game on you too. Because let me tell you, it was absolutely a game. It was absolutely a game that Leticia played, and it went all the way wrong. It went all the way left. It is not the outcome that she expected. Even Marsau said, you know what? I can't put it past Leticia because she's had to put up with all the rumors out here in the street. She's had to listen to all the gossip on the YouTube and the IG. He said, maybe, just maybe, Leticia's ready for some get back. Maybe, just maybe, Leticia wants to cash in that card from all the cars that Marsau has cashed. Maybe that get out of jail free card that Leticia has, Marsau is now afraid she gonna use it. See, this is what happens when you're a cheater. You never know when the other shoe's gonna drop. You're always going to live in fear to when is your partner going to be ready to get on some get back. That's you sitting in you like a sitting duck, and you sitting and you waiting to when is the day Leticia might say, all this indiscretion Marsau has had, maybe I'm ready for some get back. And then you got player himself, Martell, coming up here throwing salt in the room with Marsau and saying, well, Leticia does, she got that new body on her. She more outgoing. She's starting to wear some really sexy clothes. I know Marsau didn't like none of that Martell was telling him, none of it. But Martell was telling him correctly, you're right. You better keep an eye on her. You better keep her at home because you're right. She just may be ready for some get back. Because as Martell tells the story, as Martell tells the story, he says Melody got some get back on him too. So he might know a thing or two about some get back. He really might know a thing or two for some get back. We'll have to see next week how Leticia turns this around, because right now, somehow or another, she thought she was going to have a Marsau on the ropes. She thought she was going to have Marsau scared straight. And now she's in the hot seat. Let's see how she handles this going forward. And I already know I'm just waiting for the clap back from Marsau down in IG and everywhere else, because Marsau is not going to let that comment go. What Melody said, that for 15 years she was with this man and never climaxed. There ain't no way that Martell is going to let that sit out there and not have no comeback. So get ready for it. Get ready for the fireworks, because the fireworks are going to be all over social media. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Tell me what you think. Drop down in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.